Good evening. This is the Northern Sun Experience. 2 weeks ago, we saw the Minnesota State men's golf team win its second consecutive conference championship and sixth in the past 8 seasons. Well, this past weekend, another NSIC school had a chance to extend its dominance in women's golf. Augustana has won the past 6 conference titles, and the Vikings had a big lead after the first 2 rounds in the fall. Here's a quick recap. Once again, like the men's golf championship, the women's championship is split into both a fall portion and a spring portion. The first 2 rounds took place at Madden's on Gull Lake in Brainerd, Minnesota. And after the first 36, the Vikings were in first with a collective 623-47 over par. Concordia-St. Paul was in second place, 32 shots back at 655 plus 79. Minnesota State, St. Cloud State, and Southwest Minnesota State rounded out the top 5. Now, as far as individual golfers, Augie held 3 of the top 5 spots after the first 36. Sierra Langley led the Vikings at 8 over par with a 3-shot lead over Concordia-St. Paul's Savannah Stone, who was at plus 11. Augie's Marissa Toivonen was 3rd at 12 over. St. Cloud State's Laurel Enstrom was 4th at 13 over. And the Vikings' Jordan Borman was in 5th at 14 over par. So with that picture painted, let's head out to Dakota Ridge in Morton, Minnesota, site of the final 36 holes of the NSIC Women's Golf Championship. A lot of sunshine, but a lot of wind as well. None of that really mattered all that much for Augustana, however, as the Vikings finished with 5 of the top 7 individual finishers. And ironically enough, the individual medalist wasn't even in the top 5 overall back in the fall. Sophomore Callie Troutman ends up winning the tournament by 1 stroke, shooting back-to-back 76s in the 3rd and 4th round to take home medalist honors.
It was a little bit of a grind. It didn't necessarily always come easy, but I feel like I played well. It was good improvement from the past few weeks.
So a big change in the top 5, and it just goes to show how deep Augustana is that Troutman ends up getting medalist honors despite being out of the top 5 after the first 2 rounds. The sophomore ends up in first place just barely, finishing with a 312-24 over par. She's the 5th straight Augustana golfer to win the individual NSIC title. Carrie Opatz from Concordia-St. Paul, another golfer outside the top 5 after the fall portion, fights all the way back to second, just 1 stroke behind at a 313 plus 25. Marissa Toivonen from Augie ties Opatz for second place, while the Vikings' Emily Israelson and the Golden Bears' Savannah Stone tie for 4th place at 314 plus 26. So the top 5 finishers were all within 3 strokes of one another. But the team results were not even remotely close. Just a dominating performance by Augustana, who wins its 7th consecutive NSIC championship with a total of 1245 plus 93. That's a full 63 strokes ahead of second place Concordia-St. Paul, who finished at 1308 plus 156. Minnesota State, Southwest Minnesota State, and Winona State round out the top 5. Now, with the victory, Augustana as a team earned an automatic berth in the NCAA Division II Women's Golf Super Regional in Axtell, Nebraska from May 2nd through the 4th. Concordia-St. Paul, Minnesota State, and Upper Iowa also qualified as teams to the regional, and 2 individuals from non-qualifying NSIC schools will also compete: Winona State's Katja Hoffman and St. Cloud State's Laurel Enstrom. Well, as much as Augustana's dominance on the women's golf circuit has been impressive, the Vikings' dominance in tennis almost goes hand in hand. Augustana has won 5 consecutive NSIC tennis championships, and they were looking for a 6th this weekend in Minnetonka, Minnesota. The Vikings advanced to the finals of the 18 tournament, where they took on Upper Iowa in a combination of singles and doubles matches. The Vikings took care of business in the doubles matchups, sweeping all 3 of those sets to take an early 3-0 lead. And then the Augie singles players finished off Upper Iowa in a 5-0 sweep. It's Augustana's 6th consecutive NSIC championship, 16th straight NSIC tournament victory, and 77th straight conference match win overall.
We've been working really hard. We've been playing matches every weekend. Our coach works us really hard. All of our teammates really contribute at practice. Everybody is a hard worker and puts in all the effort, which, I think has led to this success.
It starts in the beginning in the fall, and just kind of building that culture of having good practices and just focusing on different things that we need to work on individually and trying to continue to be the best players that we can become. And have multiple things that we can go to in the course of matches and not just be one-dimensional. And that's kind of the main thing that I work on with the girls, is that they have some variety in their games.
Congrats once again to Augustana. They earn an automatic bid to the Central Region Tournament starting on May 7th. When we come back on the Northern Sun Experience, highlights from NSIC Baseball and Softball.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midcoast Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and Dakota Land Honda.
Welcome back to the Northern Sun Experience. Well, it's hard to believe, but the NSIC Softball Tournament starts tomorrow, April 28th in Sioux Falls. But in the final week of the regular season, teams were jockeying for position, including Minnesota Duluth. The Bulldogs had a chance to earn the #1 seed, but they need some help from others to take down Minnesota State. Until then, UMD could only play the games on their schedule, taking on the University of Mary. Top of the third, Bulldogs up 2 and looking for more. Becky Smith. Don't know if she's Becky with the good hair under that helmet, but she drives in 2 nonetheless with a double to make it 4-0. Next batter is Hannah Block, single through the left side, scores another, and it's 5-0 Minnesota Duluth. And then some fundamentals as Sammy Schneider puts down the suicide squeeze bunt in order to score another run. Bulldogs take game 1 easily 9-2 and sweep the series with a 5-4 win in game 2, but UMD could not catch Minnesota State, and so they have to settle for the #2 seed, but they still get a bye in the 10-team field. The other matchups in the double elimination tournament include #7 Sioux Falls against #10 SMSU, #8 Bemidji State against #9 Northern State, #4 Augustana against #5 Wayne State, and #3 Upper Iowa against #6 Winona State. Switching gears to baseball, St. Cloud State visited UMary last week. Huskies on a 2-game losing streak at that point, but they would bounce back against the Marauders. Logan Swan with the RBI single up the middle, scoring Zach Metzger to give St. Cloud State a 1-0 lead. It would stay that way until the 6th. One on for Zach Hoffman, and he parks it deep to left center and gone. 2-run shot gives St. Cloud State a 3-0 lead en route to a 6-2 victory and an eventual 12-2 victory in Game 2 for the sweep. Huskies looking good down the stretch. Other baseball action around the NSIC included Minnesota State at Concordia-St. Paul. Mavs up 4-3 in the 4th, but not for long. 2 on for Carter Schmidt, and he changes the momentum with just 1 swing. 3-run shot, his first career home run, gives the Golden Bears a 6-4 lead, but it would not last very long. Next inning, Minnesota State's Taylor Branstad hits his own 3-run shot. That puts the Mavs back in front 7-6, and the pitching would settle down after that. Mitchell Bauer with the strikeout of Ryan Poppitz. Mavs had plenty of insurance in a 14-7 victory. When we come back, it's a Minnesota version of our Under the Northern Sun tour, starting with the University of Minnesota Duluth.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midcoast Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and Dakota Land Honda.
And welcome back to the Northern Sun Experience. Tonight we'll take an Under the Northern Sun tour of Minnesota, featuring a couple of NSIC schools in the land of 10,000 lakes. And we start tonight at the University of Minnesota Duluth.
Welcome to Bulldog Country.
Welcome to Bulldog Country.
Welcome to Bulldog Country.
Welcome to Bulldog Country. I'm sophomore tennis player Carly Weber, and I'm nearly one of 400 student athletes here at the University of Minnesota Duluth. It is my pleasure to give you a taste of what we call Bulldog Country. UMD was established near the turn of the 20th century and became part of the University of Minnesota system in 1947. Nestled on the hill that overlooks Lake Superior, the campus encompasses 240 acres and around 50 buildings. What makes UMD unique is that all but a few of those buildings are connected through underground tunnels, skyways, and concourses. UMD offers over 150 majors and minors, including one of the top-rated engineering programs in the Upper Midwest. We also have an impressive student-to-faculty ratio of 18-1.
You need to be effective in the classroom, in the community, and on the field. And that's something that our coaches have instilled in us ever since we became Bulldogs.
It's also very relatable with the Twin Cities campuses and other U of M campuses around here, so I like the idea of coming up here and still being able to connect with other U of M campuses.
My favorite thing about UMD is probably the size and the people. It's a nice middle ground where you have a lot of different people here, but
It's not super small where you know everybody, and everyone that is here is so welcoming and easy to go along with.
The teachers, professors are very friendly. It's easy to talk to them, so I just use as much help as I can from tutors and the teachers that really make it easy.
The city of Duluth is located on the westernmost point of the world's largest freshwater lake, but there is more to Duluth than just the breathtaking beauty of Lake Superior. The city also has over 160 miles of hiking trails, an abundance of parks, and plenty of other options for outdoor enthusiasts. In the summer of 2014, Duluth was crowned Best Outdoor Town in America by Outdoor Magazine. All this, and it's still just a 2 hours drive to one of the country's largest metropolitan areas, and is also serviced by an international airport.
Just the scenery brought me in. I know being on the hill, you wake up every morning in the dorms and you get to look out at Lake Superior. I mean, that's a view that's hard to beat.
Yeah, when I was younger, we always used to travel up here as vacation for our family, and so being able to, live where you vacation is kind of cool. And
as a team, we do sand volleyball, go to Park Point, different activities like that I really love doing.
Among the numerous on-campus facilities the Bulldogs have at their disposal is the recently renovated James S. Molosky Stadium, one of northern Minnesota's premier venues that is home of UMD football, soccer, track and field, and softball. There is also the respected Romano Gymnasium, which houses the Bulldog volleyball and men and women's basketball teams, and is adjacent to the state-of-the-art weight training room. Bulldog Park, Junction Avenue Field, and the UMD Outdoor Tennis Complex can also be found on the confines of the university campus.
I've been to all the other schools on road trips, and I've seen a little bit of what other schools have, and I can honestly say that Duluth, when it comes to a weight room standpoint especially, we have a top-of-the-line facility.
I definitely say the weight room facility is great. I noticed that right away in my visit too. And the gym, I like the seating up high and the fans that we get here. It's like a perfect game environment.
Off campus, in the heart of downtown Duluth, is where you'll find perhaps the centerpiece of UMD's athletic facilities, the $80 million, 6,800-seat AMSOIL Arena, which opens its doors in December 2010 for both men's and women's Division I hockey programs.
Personally, I like everything about it. What stuck out to me most was just the rink, and for us, the locker room. I mean, we have a really outstanding locker room, and where I transferred from, we didn't really have that.
My 4 years, I've played in a lot of different rinks all over the country, and this is, number one, I mean, by far. And the facilities, I know a lot of people don't see what we have underneath kind of the stadium, but man, it's first class, and we have everything we need down there, and it's better than I've ever seen on some of the visits I've taken, and we're really lucky to have it.
UMD has one of the country's few hybrid athletic programs in that it offers sports both in the NCAA Division I and II levels. The Bulldogs sponsor 16 sports and compete in the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference, the National Collegiate Hockey Conference, and the Western Collegiate Hockey Association, and they do it with a great deal of success. From 2000 to 2015, UMD has won a combined 8 NCAA championships and 59 conference titles while producing 12 individual national champions and 195 All-American selections.
I think it's just great to be at UMD because the athletic experience here is awesome. There's so many teams that do so well that it just really keeps your team at a high standard, and that's really fun to see.
For me, being a Bulldog, it really just makes me really proud.
Pride is definitely something that I think of when I think of being a Bulldog. Every single Bulldog here, whether you're on a team or not, you have pride in what UMD cares about.
The way that the community is. I mean, Duluth backs Bulldog sports so well. I mean, hockey games, even volleyball games, football games, there's people all over, all ages coming to the games. I mean, whether they're alumni, they bring their young families, bring their little kids. I mean, there's just so much support throughout the whole community, throughout the whole city.
I think everyone that is a Bulldog always uses the phrase is that I'm proud to be a Bulldog, and it's really cool that that's something that we all have.
When we come back, we'll head south to the Twin Cities and feature the campus of Concordia-St. Paul.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midcoast Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and Dakota Land Honda.
Welcome back to the Northern Sun Experience. Well, we've already been welcomed to Bulldog Country at UMD, so now we'll see what their NSIC rivals in the Golden Bears can offer as we go under the Northern Sun at Concordia-St. Paul.
Discover the value of Concordia University-St. Paul, the only private university in the state of Minnesota competing at the NCAA Division II level. Concordia is affiliated with the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod and part of the Concordia University system. It is a campus where Christ is honored and all are welcome.
I love the Christian atmosphere that we can feel free to express our faith and share that with others.
We're just lucky to have that opportunity to kind of proclaim our faith at college.
By being a national leader in the conversation of college affordability, Concordia is proud to announce another year of record enrollment. More than 1,400 undergraduates call Concordia's campus home. Master's, doctoral, and adult undergraduate students add to the total enrollment of nearly 4,400. Here, the class size of about 15 students per class means students work closely with experienced and skilled faculty, allowing them to build relationships with experts in their field.
I like to have that close relationship with my teachers.
You just have more personal attention from your professors here.
The small class sizes, you really get the one-on-one attention, but at the same time you're in a huge city and there's always stuff to do.
Being in a class full of maybe 10 people, especially when you get to your senior year, you get that one-on-one experience where you get to come in and you get to talk to them about every single assignment you do, everything you do in the class, every discussion. It's very personalized. You get to know them not only as a teacher, but as a person.
Students can choose from more than 40 undergraduate programs at Concordia-St. Paul. Internships are a critical part of the student experience, providing the real-world skills that students need for a lifetime of applicable tools for their careers. Concordia-St. Paul is located between the downtown areas of Minneapolis and St. Paul. Entertainment possibilities are endless, from music and theater to sporting events, shopping, and dining. The Twin Cities is also home to thousands of employers, including 18 Fortune 500 companies headquartered in the area, creating exceptional opportunities for students to intern, network, or land their first or next career opportunity.
There's so much diversity, there's so much to do here. We have the Mall of America, we have all different sports teams that are great here.
It's a small town feel in a big city. I've been able to meet so many different people from different backgrounds than mine. I don't think very many schools allow that in a small campus environment.
Even though we're not, downtown, there's a light rail just around the corner and we can always get to places really easily.
Since becoming a Division II member and joining the Northern Sun in 1999, Concordia has captured multiple NCAA Division II championships, while many of Concordia's teams have competed in the NCAA tournament, advanced to Sweet 16 and Elite 8 competitions, or had individual participants reach the Division II championship competition level.
We do really try to focus on, going and supporting other athletes.
Makes me proud to be a Golden Bear.
Concordia Athletics offers 16 men's and women's varsity athletics programs, including the newest edition of women's lacrosse in the 2016-17 academic year. A campus that thrives on being a pioneer in higher education, that mentality is also present in athletics, as the lacrosse program is the first in the state to offer athletic scholarships, while also being the first in the Northern Sun to add the thriving sport. Competing at Concordia-St. Paul, Golden Bear student-athletes have the ability to train year-round in the spacious Concordia Dome at Seafoam Stadium, which opened in 2009.
This is huge because we don't have to practice in a multi-purpose room or a gym floor.
Seafoam Stadium serves as the home to Concordia football, soccer, lacrosse, and track and field programs, while the Dome is utilized as an in-season training facility for the baseball, softball, and lacrosse programs.
The multi-purpose Gangelhoff Center is one of the most recognizable and frequently used facilities in the Twin Cities.
Opened in 1993, Gangelhoff Center is equipped with 4 NCAA-sized basketball courts, a 4-lane track, batting cages, racquetball courts, a weight room, and 4 locker rooms.
Concordia is proud of the academic and athletic performances of its student athletes.
When we come back, more spotlight in Concordia-St. Paul as the school names its new women's basketball coach.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midcoast Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and Dakota Land Honda.
Welcome back to the Northern Sun Experience. Finally this evening, we can't seem to get rid of basketball season no matter how hard we try. But of course, the reasons we're talking about it right now is because there's more good news for a program in the NSIC. Concordia-St. Paul has named Amanda Behnke as its new women's basketball head coach. Behnke had served as interim head coach during the latter portion of the 2015-2016 season, taking over after longtime head coach Paul Fessler resigned. Behnke went 9-10 during her interim stretch, but that included close games against conference tournament champion Sioux Falls, a first-round NSIC tournament victory at St. Cloud State, and a tough loss in the second round of the tournament to Winona State. With a limited rotation, the Golden Bears had a 9-point lead on the top seed and number 8 team in the country before eventually falling 68-64 to the Warriors. So plenty to look forward to for Concordia-St. Paul. This upcoming season will be Behnke's 5th on the Golden Bears sidelines. She spent her first 2 years as a graduate assistant before being elevated to assistant coach and now to head coach. And Behnke's familiarity with the program extends far beyond the bench. She was a 2-time NSIC Player of the Year who led Concordia-St. Paul to back-to-back regular season and NSIC Tournament Championship titles in the 2006-07 season and the 2007-08 season. So congrats once again to Amanda Behnke, the new head coach at Concordia-St. Paul. And once again, a thank you to all of our NSIC member schools for their time and contributions to this week's show. We'll be back next week right here with yet another Northern Sun Experience.